Hey guys, this is England. We'll just say London because I'm only gonna do the Europe side of the board for this video because I just have so much going on and I don't want to make a really long video. And I was debating. I've been watching the BBR battle between like GI Joe and Detroit and Hambone and so on. And it's actually been really exciting watching like 30-minute videos of them doing the entire round and rolling out and so on. I thought about maybe doing it this time, but I don't know. I figured I'd rather keep a 3-minute video as opposed to a 30-minute video of me hemming and hawing and so on. But both London and India got improved shipyards. And the first few turns, I completely kept forgetting, and I did the whole free technology for each major power. And so I had like Germany attacking with fighters and forgetting that I had jet fighters, but it didn't matter. But now I'm like really like focused on that. So like I'm now trying to focus on, at least on the first turn, buying units to go with the special technology. But let me just take a quick spin and we'll be done with this video. And Britain started with $28, and I initially started, I'm gonna buy a fighter for London and so on. And I remembered my special technology, and I said, "Oh, I got really cheap boats." And Germany left 2 destroyers, 2 transports, and I'm gonna consolidate them and save them. And these 2 guys are gonna go with them and rebuild the fleet. And over here, I recently watched a video about, I don't remember who did it, but they advocated against doing the Toranto raid to save your fleet there because you're going to lose all your fleet up there from Germany. But in this case, 2 transports, 2 destroyers, Britain can come back possibly by next turn or at least 2 turns, and then they will dominate the North Atlantic. So I'm gonna do the Toranto raid. Oh yeah, it's tough. I'm playing solo, so I know what I'm doing. So I'm trying to basically the Axis is gonna set the table, and I'm trying to respond with the allies by how most people would, as far as I know from research and watching God knows so many YouTube videos. So I'm gonna approach it that way. But Germany sent 2 subs down and took out Britain's cruiser, and they didn't lose the sub. And that's important because even though England controls the Strait of Gibraltar, that doesn't block subs. So those subs could come in here and start wreaking havoc next turn. Germany took southern France, so they have a naval base and a factory, so we'll see what happens. And so yeah, I'm going to go for the Tobruk raid, and I'm going to bring 2 fighters from London. And that carrier is going to move in there and take hits, and also to be the legal landing spot for those 2 fighters. Because I lost that cruiser, I'm going to take this cruiser. And the fighter from Gibraltar, as usual, is going to come over to join this. The fighter from Malta is going to join the Tobruk raid. And yeah, all these guys are going to go there. Yeah. Over here, my 2 remaining boats in England are going to go over to Canada and just stock up there. And that's where my battleship and cruiser, it's a cruiser. That's where my battleship and cruiser are going to go. The other guys in Ontario and Quebec are just going to move 1 space forward, getting ready to get on those boats and move over either to England or to Gibraltar. We'll see what happens as the game goes. Oh yeah, I'm going to do a Tobruk raid. I'm doing both Toronto and Tobruk, so go big or go home. The few times I've played this game, I've done the transfer rate, which is every single time. It's been an absolute disaster for England. So we'll see what happens here. And in this case, that cruiser's taken out, so I think that's going to probably put a hurting on England. We'll see what happens. This transport down here in South Africa is going to pick up those two guys, and they're going to move up to Persia and take that. I know General Hand Grenade is all about the Middle Earth, and if I'm not mistaken, normally the first term he takes Eastern Persia, Persia, and Iraq, but I'm only doing the Europe side, and when I get to the FEC, I'm actually going to use the transport to go after some money islands to because Japan didn't attack first. I'm going to try to get as much money as possible to start putting fighters and guys on Calcutta. But again, we'll see what happens as the game plays on. And I already covered that. Fighter from Gibraltar and a cruiser from off of Egypt. Normally it'd be a cruiser from off of Gibraltar, but that got sunk. And I believe that's it for the Europe portion of England. Oh yeah, those two fighters I said are coming to the Toranto raid. Also that bomber coming. And we'll see what happens. Once I start moving pieces around to set up battles, I'll make a decision whether that TAC is going to go to Toranto or join Tobruk. And basically, that TAC, if it survives, is landing in Malta because it's got the movements. Those two fighters from London are going to land on that carrier. Well, that's the legal move anyway. So, what do you got? Yeah, I covered Gibraltar. The fighter's leaving. It's gone. Covered Canada. Covered South Africa. Persia. I think that's it. So, I'm going to start in... set up battles, do my non-combat and so on, and get ready for the next turn, and I'll do a recap, maybe a recap video for England, or I might just cover it on the beginning of the next video. But have a good night, guys. Bye.